if we find for a good coffee, I think it's available in Madrid. So
For sure, the coffee.
let's give it a try.
No, the Spanish, they improved the coffee quality here. It's much better now.
¿Qué pasa? Bienvenidos a más un Atomcast internacional. Yo soy Leonardo Romeo, diseñador industrial y gerente de diseño en Tech Electrodomésticos aquí en Madrid. Y hoy hablamos con Uwe Cremering, CEO en ifdesign en Hannover, Alemania.
Hello guys, here we are now for a new episode of Atomcast. And today we have a very special guest, no? Mr. Uwe Cremering. Is it correct?
That's perfect.
Uwe Cremering. Perfect.
Uwe
I'm not
Cremering.
German, but
The first
Uwe
name is
Cremering.
hard to pronounce, to be honest. And whenever I am at Starbucks, I choose another name. Yes.
Yes.
Liam, Tom, Andrew, whatever. Yeah, but Uwe at Starbucks, it's a bit challenging for both sides.
Quite deep. I can imagine. But in German, it's quite common, no? Uwe.
Yeah.
So Uwe, from the CEO from ifdesign company award, the company that make all this one of the most or the most important award in the world. But before I entered in these awards, IF topics, I want to start as usual asking you about your journey, since the beginning, when you want to start till today, and then I'm like a curious. I can make some other questions during your answer.
Yeah. I mean, Leonardo, first of all, thanks for the invitation to this podcast. So it's Friday afternoon, good time for having this. Thanks a lot. Yeah, where shall I start? I'm 53 years old. I have a family with a wife, of course, and two children. My daughter is 17 years old. My son is 20 years old. 17 and 20. I would say I'm a design enthusiast. I'm passionate espresso drinker. I have a fable for British rock music and Britpop music.
Good taste. Good taste, by the way.
Yeah, it is. You can dive in deeper. Yeah, that's who I am. So after studying in Göttingen, in Germany, in Austria, and Salzburg, I started my career at the Expo 2000, the World Exposition in Hanover. That was 1997. Worked there as a project manager for new media, for the website, for the visitor guidance system, all these stuffs. Really good job, really good team.
Great.
Then I moved over to Sennheiser Electronics. Sennheiser is a company for microphones and headphones, also worldwide known. And I was running through different job profiles at Sennheiser. I started as a head of marketing. Then I was doing some e-commerce stuff. Then I was responsible for branding. At the end, I was asked for building up a division for 3D audio, for immersive audio. So we had a own creation of a name, Embio, for this entire division. And in this context, we also bought some companies who could give us some support. And that was not just in the marketing, there was more in the kind of business development activity. Yeah, and that was maybe the reason why it was attractive for ifdesign, for searching somebody who was kind of understanding of international, working together with people, because at Sennheiser we had a big international team.
In Sennheiser, you are most involved with brand and marketing. And what about design? Because I know they have designers over there for sure. And how was your involved that time with design?
I was leading brand department, and at the beginning we had design in the context of brand, but at some point of time we said, okay, let's separate design, and then we built up an own unit in Zurich in Switzerland. And there was not a direct reporting line, but a lot to do with design, product design as well as packaging design, as well as communication design. I'm not a designer, I have to say this, yeah. So I'm more a marketeer, business
Mm-hmm.
development, leading companies guy, and that was also more my role at then as a business development in combination with digital transformation, in combination with brand and marketing
Great,
in
great.
different roles, yeah, for different
Mm-hmm. Of course.
sections of the company, and I did it for 20 years, yeah, I have to say.
Wow, wow, lots of
And
time.
then Corona came, and that was the same for me as for a lot of people. I thought, okay, what shall I do? Shall I stay at Sennheiser? And it was really a good job. I mean, it was on the managing board and was
Uh huh.
was was really really good. I couldn't say anything negative about Sennheiser, but it was Corona, and as a lot of people, I did some walking and hiking tours, thought about my future, and there was a
Oh,
decision: shall I
nice.
stay at Sennheiser for my entire working life, yeah, or should I
Try
should I
something.
start
No.
the next try something new, yeah? And that was when IF came into the game, and we had some talks, yeah, with the supervisory board of the board members of IF Design, and they opened the window and said, okay, that could be really attractive for you. Yeah. Then we had some talks over Zoom, yeah, because it was not possible to meet. And then
Yes, of course.
at the end of all the talks, we had one meeting, and then we agreed on working together. And that was my start at IF Design. That was April 21.
21, like
21.
and something years. 3 years,
Yeah,
no?
and it was not that easy, to be honest, because I was sitting here in the office. Our headquarter here is in Hanover,
Uh huh.
northern part of Germany. And of course, we have 25 colleagues all over the world. So we have subsidiaries in China, United States, Korea, Taiwan, and we have a lot of rep offices in Spain,
Mm-hmm.
Italy,
Yeah.
Turkey, Japan, and so on. And it was really hard to invite people, to talk to people. Also, here my team was mostly in Zoom conferences, so I was sitting
Yeah.
here all just
So you
alone. Yeah,
start
and then
during this period, no? That everybody working from home, still working from home
yeah,
that time.
yeah,
Poof,
yeah, yeah,
it's crazy, crazy,
yeah.
crazy period.
Yeah, it's crazy because you first reaction is always you would like to see the people, yeah, you would like to
Of
take a look
course.
in their eyes, yeah, and that was a bit tricky, yeah, but peu à peu, I have to say, people came back to the office, yeah, and in line with having more control about Corona, and yeah,
No, I think I remember that I don't know which year exactly, but you also made it. All the ceremony was online, no? That I don't know if it was in this first year or the second year that you were in IFA, and I remember that time you didn't was totally different, no? The system of the word, we cannot send the real product just online, and then an online ceremony was a crazy period, no? But it worked,
yeah,
no? That time.
yeah. Yeah. We were really fast in going back into the real award mode. Yeah. So we did it end of 2000, I think one. And we say, okay, let's
Mm-hmm.
let's sit there, let's wear a mask. But the gala is such an emotional thing, and it's really hard to do it just online. Yeah. And that's the reason why we
No.
say, okay, we can understand that not all our guests are coming, yeah, because it was not possible to fly in from overseas. Yeah, where we say, okay, let's start small, but a gala is a gala, yeah, and a celebration
Yes.
event is
Yes.
a celebration event, yeah, and that was a little bit a risk for us, but I would say it worked quite nice. Of course, the picture is a bit weird if everybody. At, right now, we are in a year of 2024, so we really can't imagine, yeah, that 3 years
Yeah.
ago we were sitting with mask,
No,
yeah, and we're talking
for
with
sure.
mask, yeah, and
For sure.
we
For
forgot
sure.
this already. But yeah, that was more the first phase of my being here.
No, we kind of losing the no the time frame. It's difficult sometimes to remember things from that time. I said I don't know if it was in 20. You kind of lost this 1.5 year. Was I think for everybody, no, was kind of strange, no, at least.
Definitely,
But
definitely.
and of course, one of my questions is related not only with the IF for sure, but we know that the design professional has changed all over these years. No, I would say that since I started like 24 years ago in 2000, like 2000 more or less, the our, let's say, profession changed a lot. No, since
Mm,
the we are just the UX was not so heavy as is it today. So different, no, different kinds of designers. And how do you think that IF award evolved? No, during this time,
mm,
it's kind of, as far as I remember, 7th year, no, of history. And how you evolved, and how do you still evolving to adapt? Because our field is really, the changes are really fast, no, in the design field.
yeah,
Is really now with the artificial intelligence. I don't know how it could be in the future, and how do you, how
mm.
can you connect all these, no, these changes to you?
Yeah, it's a good question. I mean, maybe you know this. IF Design was founded 1953, so 70 years ago, as more or less German award for industry design or for product design, and in the context of the industry fair in Hanover. That was our starting point, and that is a bit the roots of what we do. And then, of course, over the years, over the decades, yeah, communication design, packaging design, were part of this entire journey. Then architecture, interior design, and of course, the newest disciplines are service design, professional context, UI, UX. And you can really see us
Yeah.
as a journey, yeah, because
Hmm.
because what we recognize is that, for example, a fridge, yeah, fridge is not a hardware component anymore. So it comes in combination with an app, with service design, and that's the reason why we have to add these fields to the entire IF
Yeah.
design award. I mean, we have 81 categories, yeah, and it's every year it's a question: shall we delete a category? Shall we add a category? We don't want to confuse your our participant, but the wishes are coming more and more from the participants itself. They say, okay, now
Mm.
we have to think about in different categories, and that is part of our journey. So every year we have to see, okay, shall we move the IF Design Award, which is our biggest award? Maybe I can talk about the Student Award and the Social Impact Prize
Yes.
a little bit later, but that the IF Design Award is where the entire success story has started
Hmm.
with, and which is our core core business at the end. Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. And of course, I mean, I touch this, yeah. When we talk about a fridge, yeah, I mean, 10 years ago, it was just a fridge. It was a hardware component, yeah. So opening the
Yeah.
door and the outside quality was important. Right now, it's really the combination with an app, and very often the intelligence is not in the hardware component anymore. It's
Yeah.
in steering
Yeah.
the fridge, and combine it with smart home on and
For
these
sure.
things. And this is for us, of course, it's a challenge, because every year our promise to our participants is we find the right judges or the right persons for judging your product. Yeah. And of course, when more and more algorithm, IT, artificial intelligence comes into the game, we have to adjust our jury members. Yeah.
Yeah, no, I think it's a good topic also, the jury members, and how it works, the process, if there is some process, internal process. I think you have some internal process, and how to, let's say, to ensure, no, that they are kind of impartial with, no, judging, and to make sure that they have the correct expertise, no, to
Mm,
judge all these new products and things, no, let's call things, because not only
mm,
products. And is there any process, or how do you, I know, we know, no, most of the people know you have different
mm,
offices around the world. How do you find the right people, no?
mm. It's really interesting. Maybe I can move my camera a little bit. Yeah, you can see some jury members from the last couple of years, and that shows
Nice.
a little bit. Yeah, our jury is actually the brain of what we do. Yeah, in the entire IF design process. So they have to make the decisions. We keep the jury completely independent, so IF never interferes in jury decisions. And that is important for us. It's part of our philosophy here, and it's also kind of promise towards our participants that we have always a well experienced jury, and we have a high number of
Yes.
jury members every year. So This year we had 100, or last year we had, no, this year we had 132 people,
Wow.
lot of people. And
Yeah.
what we have to make sure is that we have a kind of variety of different views. Yeah. So I mean, the entire IF design journey started with a pure German jury. Now,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, the time has changed. I mean, now we have to make sure that we have an international view on product. That means
Sure.
we need jury members from different countries. We also really work hard for a gender balanced jury, also diversity from both gender perspectives.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and the process is that we would like to keep a little bit of dynamic in our jury. That's the reason why we try to exchange 30% of our jury members every year. Otherwise, you have
Mm.
the same three persons who decide about bicycles, and then they know exactly, okay, we like
Yeah.
this brand we don't like. Then you do not have a dynamic, yeah. So, and to
Exactly.
keeping this
Exactly.
dynamic, we have decided to change roughly 30%. It to be honest, sometimes it doesn't work that you have exactly 30%. Sometimes you have 27% or
More or
33.
less. Yes, of
It
course.
depends, yeah, because very often somebody get ill, and then we have to find the replacement from. We do it with somebody from the older or from the previous jury, but that is part of our principle. And as you can imagine, we need a kind of stability. We need some jury members who know
Mm-hmm.
the entire process, and
Yeah.
to have fresh people. And we do this based on recommendations. So if we have jury members, they recommend somebody, we call them. We have also some
Great.
applications, or a lot of applications, so people apply because it's also good for their
Ah.
CV to be IF jury member. Sometimes we
So if someone wants to make part of the jury, they can apply, and then you can evaluate if it's a good match
yeah.
or not.
Yeah.
Interesting. I never heard about.
Yeah, no, no,
Great.
no. And we got a lot of applications, to be honest. Yeah,
Oh
because
yeah,
in some
nice.
countries it's good to have a kind of IF design jury participation in your CV. And then it's
Oh
that
yeah.
we inform ourselves about the jury members, and we call with them, because at the end, yeah, two aspects are very important. They have to be experienced. Yeah, in the
Sure.
field, we ask
Sure.
them for being a judge. So if you are a bicycle designer, you have a good understanding. You need long years of experience. Otherwise, it doesn't make sense. And the
Doesn't make
second
sense.
part is also very interesting and important for us. I mean, every product is judged by three people, yeah, in a two-step
Mm-hmm.
jury process. And
Yeah.
if you are not willing to work in a group, if you are not willing to discuss about a jury decision, then it's hard for you to be a jury member. So if you say, I'm the only one on this planet who know how this bicycle should be judged, then it's hard, yeah. And this
Yeah.
what we have to find out before. So we interview these guys and ask them and ask other people, how do you see this guy? And then it's always a challenge, yeah. And I can
Yeah.
say I can oversee the last 2 years of the judging process, or last 3 years, and it worked very good for all the three times. But it's always a kind of adventure for us, yeah. So after
Yes.
the
Yes.
first day, we know if it works, yeah. Bringing old designers together with some mid-age
Young one.
designers, yeah. So
Yes.
and then you see the dynamic in a group. That is every year it's a challenge for us, but it makes it also exciting for us, yeah, to see, okay, it worked, yeah. So I mean,
It
we have a
worked.
good dynamic in the system. And good dynamic is not, yeah, I have to say, yeah, what we like to see is an intense discussion about
Yeah.
judgment. Yeah, if
Yes.
everybody says, I
Yes.
agree, I agree, I agree, it's not what we have in mind, yeah.
No, must
And then
be must
it's
have
like
some discussions. No.
it's like a football season, yeah. So if you have a team, yeah, and now you have to replace 30% of a very successful team, you can imagine it's a
Yeah.
challenge.
Exactly.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
of
Sure.
course, that is also part of our principle. If you are out this year, that doesn't mean that you're out next year. So sometimes we ask jury members
Yeah.
who've been part of our jury, I don't know, 5, 6 years ago, you want to be part again? Yeah,
No. Also to have this no this dynamic. No, I think it's much interesting. No, for to guarantee and and to be adapted also. No,
yeah,
and as you said, is an interesting thing. You can find the most experienced designer in the world in some field, but at the same time, he's not a good guy judging because it's different.
Exactly.
No, it's one thing.
Exactly.
It's like the profession, no, a teacher. You could be the best designer, but you don't know how to transfer this information to, and it's tricky. It's tricky.
Yeah, I say it. Yeah, it's indeed, and that's the reason why whenever we have this, whenever the judgment round is over, yeah, we analyze this, and for the last 3 years, I can say it worked quite good.
Great. No. It's. I think it's a good information for everybody that's participating. I have some friends that also participate as juror, and they also told me about the process, no, explain me all the things, and I'm always, let's say, comfortable to say no. They
Yeah,
are. If I didn't win, it's because it was not to my product is
yeah,
not bad, good enough. Let's say no. So
yeah,
let's try next year, and I think
yeah,
that's the uh, what we need to do, no. And
yeah.
of course you have 120, what,
32,
how
32,
32 in
132.
this. I know that you have two phases. No, the first one is more like they are looking kind of online system, and
Yeah,
then they see for the second phase you send your real product and analyze much more details.
yeah,
And you also have on this physical second phase this 120 something designers looking of, wow.
yeah. I mean, we do the first round. There was result of Corona, of course, where we had to do
Uh-huh.
it virtually.
Okay.
And I mean, we got roughly 11,000 entries.
Oof.
Yeah, and if you get
Crazy.
11,000 entries, you have to ask yourself, yeah, does it make sense to send over some products where a pre-jury might say there's no chance that this product might win?
Yeah.
And that's the reason why we said let's continue with this two-step approach. Let's have a kind of virtual jury.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so when our jury members decide on pictures, decide on videos, if this product has a chance and
Mm-hmm.
should go to the final jury, and the final jury is normally
Yeah.
physical jury, where we asked all the companies to send in their product. And I can say it is forced by Corona, but it's a good principle for us, yeah, to do it in that
Yeah.
way. I'm not sure
Yeah.
if we do it for the next 30 years, but for now I can say it's a good principle to reduce shipping costs for our participants.
Yes.
And for both rounds, yeah, we sent our participants a so-called feedback chart. Yeah, so we would like to make the judgment transparent in a way. Of course, we don't give away the names of the jury members because otherwise they get all the calls after somebody was not successful. But we say
Yeah.
these were the points given by juror member number 1. These are the
Mm-hmm.
points by jury member 2. And here's what 3 has decided in different for different criteria, because we
Yes.
feel, yeah, that we should be as transparent as possible. And of course, this is also a kind of uh, wheel we would like to turn, yeah, where we try to
Mm-hmm.
understand,
Mm-hmm.
can we give more input out of the jury round to the participants? And there are a lot of participants in the world, yeah, they are really helpful. Even in the case that they couldn't win, they say, okay, that is helpful for us if we understand, okay, functionality was not good, the explanation of the product was not good, maybe the impact,
Yeah.
yeah, sustainability of this product was not good, and there was a reason why I failed. So that helps us
Mm-hmm.
for working on the next variant of this product.
No, I think this feedback chart I also received from some participants in the past, and I remember in the past, no, the very old years, early years, you didn't have, and I don't know if there's any other award that make this kind of feedback. That is, for me, I think it's one of the most important things, because you can receive an award or don't receive an award, but at least you know more or less what is the problem. No, if
Uh,
it's your project, maybe sometimes we think our project is the best, no, the best of the world, and doesn't,
yeah.
no,
You
doesn't
can
mean that's
imagine,
really.
Leonard, for us is a lot of work, yeah, because after the
Yes.
first round, we sent out 11,000 PDF files, and we check
Crazy.
every PDF file manually at the end, because
Oh.
it's generated automatically, but we have to make sure that Pepsi Cola doesn't get the PDF file of I don't know,
Of
of
another one.
Coca-Cola, of Coca-Cola.
Yes,
This
yes,
is what we
yes.
have to make sure. Yeah,
Wow.
that is our I would say our German view on that. That we have to very
Yeah.
very precise. Yeah, and that's the reason why a lot of things are generated automatically, but we do a manual proof point here.
No, and I think these topics or these things that you are explaining also explains the cost. No, because I can tell you some for that I received some friends. I have some friends that say, "Wow, but I have to pay. I don't remember. It's around 300 euros to put my product. Then you have another. If you go to the second phase,
No.
more or less 300 euros, and then if you win, you have to pay something." And they say, "Ah, come on, but it's too expensive." But of course, when you see all the things behind, I think it's quite clear why you need to charge, because in the end you are an organization with professionals and you need to pay your bills for sure.
Uh,
And all the awards, the gala, trophies, certificates. So it's generate a cost to you, no, for sure.
uh, uh. Yeah, a little bit. I mean, we are in a comfortable situation, yeah, that our 100% stakeholder is a non-profit foundation, the ifdesign Foundation. And
Mm-hmm.
for us, also for me as a CEO, it's very beneficial because we do not put money out of the system. So whatever we earn, we invest. Yeah, we invest in student award, we invest in doing marketing for our winners, we invest
Yeah,
in having a nice gala event, we invest in the social impact prize. Yeah, so we keep the money into our system, and in comparison to other competitors, yeah, so we are not government owned. So in Asian countries, you see this very often that awards are government owned and have much more people on board as we have. So we try to
yeah,
keep our cost on a minimum level, yeah, to be beneficial for our participants.
for sure,
Yeah.
for sure. And I also know, for example, for people that wants sometimes to participate, I remember that you have some, let's say, collaborations with other institutes around the world. I know here in Spain with the ADI Delta Award, or even in Brazil. I'm from Brazil, by the way. It's from the CBD, the Central Brazil Design or Brazil
Yeah.
Design Center. That the winners they have like local awards. For example, here Delta Award in Spain, one of
Uh,
the probably the
uh,
most famous in Spain. And then the winners, they have the opportunity to enter in IF direct. I don't know if it's direct or you don't need to pay the
yeah.
tax. No, and do you have more? How it works? This kind of collaborations with other institutes locally.
We started this a couple of years ago, yeah, and actually we don't think that we are the only entity on this planet who should do a good award. So I mean, we
Yeah,
see ourselves as part of the design community, and that's the reason why we do not attack other awards, and we are not really in competition. We see ourselves really in working together with other awards. And you mentioned the Delta Awards from Adifat, and we
hmm,
analyzed the award. We said, "Whoa, the winners are really they bring really good quality." Yeah, and of
yeah,
course, it's more a national award, and that's the reason why we said, okay, what we can give to these winners, yeah, is that we can give them an international platform. Yeah, because our entire money goes into international campaigning and it might be beneficial for both sides. And this is
yeah,
the reason why from time to time, I would say we have 10, 11 corporations worldwide. Yeah,
yeah.
and it's principle is very often the same. That is a very good national award with really qualified winners, and we allow them to go directly to the final jury because they got a
Okay.
proof point already that
Hmm.
the design is good, and that is a principle behind. And actually, it's good for all. It's good for us because we get quality, and that is the
Yeah,
main reason, yeah, to get design quality. It is good for the national awards in for many reasons, and it's good for the participant. And the
sure.
participant can decide, yeah. So nobody is forced. So it's
Hmm.
just an offer. So the participant can say, "I'm not willing to do. I'm fine with my local award. That's nice." But a lot of companies do this because they can participate from both, from
Yeah,
the national award and the jury members and the quality and so on, and from a kind of international award.
Great. No, no, I think it's a nice initiative to not only to improve the local awards, let's say, but at the same time to guarantee more quality in IF. No,
Mm.
and as you said, you of course we know there is some other awards no around the world. IF, I think, is one of the biggest one. Then we know the other ones like Red Dot, German Design Award, Good Design in US. There is another Good Design in Japan, as far as I know. Then you have DIA, the
Uh-huh.
Chinese one. That's
Uh-huh.
one another one. And how, as you said, you kind of respect the other awards. There is any kind of conversation between you guys from the no the CEOs of these awards or the board? Is there anything that you share something among, or you are an institution, they are another one, we kind of respect, but we don't have any kind of relationship?
It depends a little bit, yeah. I want to be honest. So what I have learned in my career is it's always good to concentrate on yourself.
For sure.
Yeah, so if you take a look to your competitors, try to copy something, be a little bit embarrassed if they are successful, that makes you nervous. That's the reason why I took over this approach to IF design, and was always the IF design mentality, I
Uh-huh.
have to say. We have
Of
to
course.
concentrate ourselves, yeah, or concentrate on ourselves. Nevertheless, yeah, we had a gala event last week, and we could welcome also some team members of other awards. And
Ah, great.
especially when I am in Asian countries, when I'm in Brazil, for example, I try to meet the other design organizations. Sometimes just
Great.
for a coffee, sometimes to understand, is there a possibility to run a panel discussion together? And I said this, it's not that we believe we are the only institution on this planet for design. We see ourselves more as a kind of member of a community. And that's the reason
Yeah.
why whenever
Yeah.
somebody calls us, hey, can we try out fine, can we try out working together? I say doors are open. At the end, of
Great.
course, we have our own business, but that doesn't mean that there is no spaces for working together. Yeah, and this is how we see this. Yeah, so I mean, yeah, this is what we do, and I was happy about that I could see some of our competitors on our gala. Yeah, and the doors are
It's nice.
always open. Yeah.
No, it's nice to hear. I mean, in the art, no, everybody's here. We are aware, and then just respect. And I think there is a space for all these no
Yeah, and you
awards in the
never
end.
would hear me saying some negative words about our competition. I mean, there are a lot of award organizations, yeah, and of course, that is a challenge for the entire design industries because for some awards, um, they are niche awards. Some awards you have a
Yeah.
100% winner quota, yeah,
Uh huh.
and some awards are international, some business. So it's a kind of how to say complex
Uh
landmark
huh.
of design institutions, yeah. And
Yeah.
I
Yeah. Yeah.
mentioned some are private use, some are foundation owned, some are government owned, so it's really complex, yeah. And every week I learn about new awards coming up, so and I can
Yeah.
imagine that this might confuse also the participants. What I can say for the big companies, they select awards they want to participate, and they participate for long
Yeah.
years, yeah. And
Yes.
we are in the happy situation that most of the big companies on this planet participate in the IF Design Award for many decades, yeah, because yeah, for some good reasons I know,
Yeah,
but
I think they know how it works, the process. I think this is the maybe the main difference. You know, that you need to, as I told when I was like a professional talking with the students, I say no, you need to check, no, how it works, the process and everything, and then you know if it makes sense or not. Maybe say no,
mm,
this one I don't know nothing. They don't give any feedback. Doesn't make sense. Let's go to another one that have big companies or no, even the marketing, worldwide market, that they are
mm,
kind of spreading all this news about the winners. So it's in the end you need to balance all this information
Uh,
and define one.
uh,
It's quite no, great, great. And you also mentioned the some other awards that you have. The EF award is the product award is the let's say the main one of the most important for you. But and how do you support also? I know you have the student award, and these are the kind of initiatives or support that you give for young designers, students, or you are looking, or how you are looking also not to this next generation of designers. They
and
are kind of doing lots of things, and how to catch them, no,
yeah,
to know about you.
I mean, the main task given by the IF Design Foundation to the IF Design GmbH or Limited is to support the design community. Yeah, and of course, with the IF Design Award, we say, okay, we award good design. And on the other hand side, and there was years before I was joining IF Design 20 years ago, roughly, we decided, okay, we have to support the students a bit more. Yeah. And really, in comparison to the IF Design Award for the Student Award as well as ZIP Award, we invest €500,000 every year because we give away money. So
Mm-hmm.
there's no participation fee. There is a winner fee. So we give money to the
Great.
winners. And what I can say is that the Student Award as well as the ZIP Awards are really successful. So for the Student Award, we have also roughly 10,000 applications every year.
Wow.
Yeah, so we have a jury of 60 people, yeah, and then a kind of final jury of 10 people, and we do the judging round, or the material is based on creating some posters with your idea. So the investment is a bit differently, so people do not have to send us something; it's just a poster,
Okay.
and that is really an inspirational area also for me. I mean, every year we have the jury process, yeah, and
Mm-hmm.
all the entries are based on the SDGs, and you really can see fantastic idea not limited by cost. I mean, you know this,
Yeah.
yeah. If you're a
Mm-hmm.
designer right now, professional designer, so the cost component also come into game. If you
Totally
are a
different.
visionary student, 20 years old, you can say, okay, I can
You can
ignore the
dream.
cost. I can dream,
Exactly.
yeah. And I like it pretty
Exactly.
much, yeah. And every year we do a kind of winner ceremony. It's a bit smaller than the big one, but we invite, this year we might have 300 people in Milano,
Great.
and then we
Great.
do a get together, and the get together is one of the best part of my IF year. So because you see all the dreams, all the visions, you can see all the glowing eyes, yeah, from people who say, I believe in this, yeah. So and I really like it, and that is a fun part, or one of the fun parts in my job
Sure.
here.
No, no, I think it's a nice initiative also. And then I have the student award and the other one.
Yeah.
How do you call the
We
other
call it
award?
it's a kind of award, yeah, but we call it IF Design Social Impact Prize,
Ah,
where we
okay.
try to find social impact, social projects with an impact to design from all over
Great.
the world. Of course, most of the projects are in the poor countries on this planet, unfortunately, but the principle is the same. So we got 1,800 entries every
Well,
year, and
it's
we
a
have a
lot.
jury of 10 people, yeah, from some non-government organizations, and then they select the winners, and then we pay the winners. And they are really
Great.
happy because, I mean, you can imagine we got a really good response, because 5,000 or 10,000 euro for a social project is a lot of money.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Sure. Sure. No, no, no. Great. No, I think it's a nice. I think it's necessary more than a nice initiative is it's necessary. No, that is also something that I don't know how you are facing. I know that for the IF no product award, you have all these feedback chart, and then you consider different aspects of the
Uh,
project, and also the environmental area is something that is growing, no,
uh,
more and more. And do you have something, or better, do you kind of focusing more in this kind of solutions or project that are kind of respecting? No, not only doing a nice product that we can do. Okay, it's quite okay for us. It's the basic, for. But not only a nice product or a really easy to use, but also something that change a life. No, not only one more product. I don't know if you see this kind of
Yeah,
different aspect of the product.
yeah. It's a very, very important, I would say one of the most important topics for us over the next couple of years, but it's also a very complex topic.
Yeah,
Yeah, if you are in 81 categories active, you can imagine you have always different views on these things. Yeah, and it's not that somebody could click on a big button and everything is solved. So it's really the process. Yeah, and
yeah,
we discuss this internally. Of course, for a company like us, it would be easy to say out of the 11,000 entries, we select 10 entries and say these are the green winners. But from my
okay,
understanding, this is kind of greenwashing. Yeah.
yeah,
So for
yeah,
marketing perspective, some people might say, "Well, that is clever," but we say we shouldn't do this. We should find some guidelines, find some rules for all the 11,000 entries. And
yeah,
we started last year. We started a kind of big project, one of the biggest projects also for us, where we invited external experts for this. Yeah, so-called
mm,
sustainability experts. And sustainability, of course, it means environmental responsibility as well as social responsibility. So we brought together a group, and the group really supports us to ask the right question, because that is
great,
our hook. We have to ask, we have to challenge our participants. Yeah, and we cannot ask, do you use plastic? Because that
mm,
is a stupid question. We have to ask really deep questions
yeah,
depending on the category. So for cars, for example, we have to ask, what is the petrol consumption for the car? Yeah, and based on this, our jury members can make a kind of valid judgment. So
uh-huh,
the and actually, sustainability was always part of the IF Design Award, but for this year, the first year, we renamed impact into social or into sustainability. Sorry, into
okay,
sustainability, and we defined dedicated questions for this criteria. And then
great,
at the jury process, and that was also a good idea, I could say, we invite some of the external experts, because of course our
mm,
jury members, they have a feeling for sustainability, because they are expert for the entire business, for the category, but from
yeah,
time to time they need some special view on that. So based on material, for example, they say, okay, the participant says this is a new very sustainable criteria, help us judging this. Is it really true? Do you have
yeah,
some science knowledge about that? And that is quite good. I mean, we have this 2 3 people at the jury process. They are not formal jurors, so they run around and support the
uh-huh,
jury, but that is
uh-huh,
quite successful. And I have to say, I see this sustainability way for us as a kind of 3 4 years way. Yeah, because it's
great,
not that we have to click on a button and everything is sure. And of course,
sure,
yeah, we have to speak to our participants. Yeah, so I mean, it doesn't make sense to make the border for them. They have to jump over too high. It must be achievable for them.
yeah,
It must be challenging. The question must be challenging. Do
but
you really
achievable,
achieve this? But achievable.
of
Yeah,
course,
and it's a
of
really
course,
interesting process for us. Yeah, especially depending on different categories. Yeah, in some categories it's easier, in some categories it's a bit more complex. Yeah, and that's the reason
yeah,
why we really invest huge amount of time in this. We will announce a dedicated IF design sustainability head next
ah,
month.
nice,
Yeah, so that people can see, wow, they take it seriously. I didn't want to do this last year because I believe that first you have to achieve something before you use it in marketing, and not in a
yeah, yeah,
different
yeah,
way. So I
no,
mean,
no, no,
otherwise
no,
it's greenwashing, and it's really a sensitive topic. Yeah, I mean,
yeah,
what we also see is that the end users on this planet, yeah, really appreciate this and select
yes,
products based on the carbon footprint of the product, or based on the sustainability aspect of the product. that is coming, and that is obviously also
Yeah,
a big topic for all the companies on this planet.
fully agree. I think it's growing. Of course, I would say here my experience in Europe, the Nordics maybe are much more aware, or they are paying, let's say, more.
Yeah,
And now, and I think no, going to the south here in Spain, the Latin no regions, people are kind of now they are discovering, but in some of are paying more. That's another problem that I'm
yeah,
always discussing with some friends that are much more, let's say, involved in sustainability
mm,
uh, works or topics. That's not easy, no, even for a big industry to let's make everything way recyclable, new materials. But in the end, the products itself, it's gonna cost how much. We know that usually today materials or this kind of details cost more. So
yeah,
how can we know how we need to also know to look the other side of the industry, the owners and the big guys say, okay, it's really nice, but do people will pay more, or
exactly.
what can we?
That's the reason why for a lot of companies it's also a kind of journey. Yeah, and it's also not we
Exactly.
can click on one button, we exchange everything, and now it is solved. Because if we have to listen to our participants have to listen to their client, to their customer. Yeah, so at the end, yeah, if you create a product which is 100% sustainable and nobody buys it, is a waste of money
Exactly.
for
Doesn't
everybody. So I mean,
exactly,
but
exactly.
that
No,
is a
no, I think
direction, and we are happy that we can see this. And for me, it's not a trend. It's more than a trend. It's a kind of movement on this planet, which is really necessary.
mhm,
And we can see this in nearly all of countries participate, yeah, or where the companies participate. Of course, in some countries it's a bit slower. In some countries it's a bit
mhm.
heavier, depending on the end user demand. But it's coming. And that is good,
Sure,
yeah, for
sure.
for us, for the
No,
planet,
and
for our
also the
use.
governments, I think they're gonna help also doing some kind of normatives that in the end they will make sure that we need to do or do. There's no other option for the future. It's clear.
Definitely.
And talking about different countries, that I don't know if you have in your mind how many countries in these 11,000 participants, uh, how many countries are more or less. I don't know if you have the number. Don't need to. Do you know how many countries are kind of participating in IF,
Yeah.
more or
um,
less?
Yeah, no, I know exactly, because over the last couple of years, we invest huge money in digitalization. So we have
Okay.
everything we have in our databases. I mean, over the last 70 years, yeah, I mean, uh, all the entries, all the winners, not the entries, the winners, I have to be precise,
Okay.
are in our databases. So we have 50,000 and more winners in the databases. We know from which country they come, who are designers, who are the manufacturers. And that's the reason why we every year, yeah, and that is also a funny part of our job. Every year we try to make a look from a country perspective on this IF Design Award. So take a look on Spain, and we try to analyze the
Mm-hmm.
Spanish winners. Yeah, do we see a growth in design quality? And for us, design quality is the number of participations and the number of winners and the points they got. Yeah, so everything is
Mm-hmm.
data driven, and that gives us a possibility to go deeper in and see really the growth. And for me, Korea is a good example. I mean, the winner
Mm.
code of Korea was couple of years quite low and was dominated by LG and
Mm-hmm.
Samsung and the big
And
companies.
Samsung, yeah.
Right now, the design quality of Korean brands is really growing, really significantly growing, and that is good.
Wow.
Coming back to your questions, the previous year we had 56 countries participating in the IF Design Award, and this year
Wow.
we had 72.
Wow. No, lots. Is
Good.
there any other country that demonstrate like Korea this kind of growing quality and also awards? There is other country that you can mention or do you have in your mind?
Yeah, that is also a funny aspect. So I mean, when we are able to travel, so when I'm in Brazil, for example,
Mm.
in United States, in Korea, we try to bring people together and talk about country-specific design. Korea is really a good example because they have developed this country-specific Korean design. Yeah, a little
Yeah.
bit in combination with Korean food, Korean fashion. Yeah, so it's really ongoing. And then we have same discussions with Italians and with Brazilians and United States. United States,
Uh-huh.
it's not really possible. There is no dedicated language, I would say. Brazil is also very interesting because in Brazil there is a language, but Brazilians are not that willing to expand it to the entire world. They say, okay, Brazil is cool. Yeah, Brazilian design for
For
Brazilians
Brazilian
is cool.
people,
Brazilian
yeah.
people, that's it.
Yes,
Yeah,
more or less.
yeah, more or less, and that's really interesting. Yeah, and I mentioned our winners ceremony we had a couple of weeks ago in Berlin, and we use it also to initiate country meetings. Country meetings is we write
Ah,
an email to. I know this year we had 130 Italians in Berlin and roughly
great.
100 people from Brazil. Yeah, and we say let's sit together and let's talk about this. Yeah,
Oh,
and this is really an interesting talk. Yeah, you can imagine
great.
because you have different views from different companies, and some say, okay, Brazil is enough for us because the market is okay. Someone say, what do we have to do to develop our own a country-specific design language like Scandinavian design? That is also a kind
Yes,
of benchmark, yeah, because it's a quality
exactly.
stamp,
Yes,
yeah.
yes. No, no.
And
I think it's that. It's. We have this, as far as I remember, no, from Brazil. We always try, and I think we have for maybe for some categories, no, in terms of appliances. I can say from my side, from appliances, that we have a really particular vision how it works, and not
mm,
it's not the same that you have in Europe, for example. No?
no, you're right. And of course, I mean, some European countries, they stand for design quality. Also Spain, yeah. In some countries, we can see, and our judgment or our criteria is number of participants, number of winners, and then we can really see, okay, what does it mean? And in some categories, you can see that the winner quota for Spanish companies is quite high, and for us, it's an
Hmm.
indication for good design quality. Yeah.
Yeah, 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 yeah. No, no. And do you think that this evolution, no, of the design quality of these countries, no, are also related with the awards, also the searching, or they are looking also to receive this kind of international awards, and then you kind of, no, looking outside, you say, no, no, we are good, but looking outside, we need to improve it, so we need to make things better to enter in IF or even other awards. Do you think this also help this growing quality or not?
I wish it would be helpful. So, but I haven't spoken to that many companies about that effect. Yeah, I mean, every company has an intention to make the product better. Yeah, but
Yes.
there's one interesting aspect, and we have started this trend report
Uh-huh.
2 3 years ago, and there's one wording which is really interesting, and the wording is called localization. It's a
Mm-hmm.
combination between local and globalization. And I would say the majority of our participants, they exactly have to understand this question. If you create the product for the Spanish market preliminary, you have to understand the Spanish culture. The
Yeah.
same point of view, you have to understand how can I export this maybe to Italy, maybe to Brazil, or maybe to Germany, or maybe to United States, or maybe to China. So,
Mm-hmm.
and that is a challenge, yeah, and you see it from different perspectives. You see some really products highly influenced by local cultural aspect, but with the intention to spread it all over the
To
world.
spread. Yeah.
Or you see that the big companies like Samsung, they have to understand, okay, how do we create a product which is made for the entire planet? Or we have to separate in three color versions, maybe one
Yeah.
for South Europe, the other one for USA, and the other one for the Asian countries. That is a really interesting aspect. Yeah,
Yeah.
really from two different perspectives. The global player have to think about that, and the local player also have to think, okay, how can I widen my market for my product?
Yeah. and not easy, by the way. Not easy
Sorry?
as no,
No, no,
and,
no.
and
It's
it's
not
not
easy.
easy.
No, no,
It's
no. It's not
quite
easy. No, no.
quite
It's really,
complex.
it's really complex. But this is how our planet works. Yeah, you have a highly link to support your local dealer on the one hand side. On the other hand side, due to social media, everybody knows everything. And if you see a
Yeah.
trend in China, yeah, it comes easily via TikTok to Germany.
Really fast.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then you have to see, okay, shall I adapt it maybe on a communication, or shall I consider some aspects in my new product development? Is
Exactly.
interesting, and of course there are also two aspects. Yeah, if the world is so fast as I described it, you have to find your own way. So you can't react on every movement in the world. You can say, "Oh, there's something coming from TikTok. We have to adapt this." Then you get weird. Yeah.
You
So
get crazy.
yeah, a bit crazy.
Yeah.
So you have to find your way. Yeah. That's a
Yes.
interesting
Be
and funny part.
confident, no? Be confident in your quality, no? In your
Exactly.
expertise, and do. You're
Exactly.
fully right. I
Exactly.
fully agree in this. It's always a discussion as what as, as some other companies, and even the company that I am today. This kind of no, they are usually no. That you also work in a big company, Sennheiser. The most, let's say, common way is to always look into the competitors. No, let's look at the competitors. Let's look
Uh,
and try to all the reports, these marketing reports, and try to understand how we can, which one we can copy, which one we can copy and improve, and I always my I'm not trying to criticize, but sometimes I think we are looking too much to the competitors,
much.
and we forgot to no. Come on, let's look internally. We know better than them, or as
Mm,
much as them, and let's be confident. No, because unless you are trying to copy, I don't know if they are better. No, relax. Let's do the
yeah.
best for the user, no, for our audience, and no problem.
Yeah.
But it's
Otherwise, you get weird. Otherwise, you get weird because you have so much input,
exactly.
and you get it. You get it right now on a daily base. On a daily base, you get a competitor who's doing a color version or whatever, and theoretically, you could adapt everything. But I think it's not a good way. You have to concentrate on yourself. You have to understand, okay, what are our strengths? Yeah, what is our design concept behind, and then you have to believe in this.
Exactly. I heard from I don't remember who is the person from a company, a Brazilian company. He make like a comparison with a swimmer, no, an Olympic swimmer, a professional swimmer. So he enter in the pool, and you need to go and back without looking to your opponent, because if you look, you kind of lose in 1 second,
Uh,
no, for in a so you kind of you probably will lose your no your running, your swimming
uh,
running because of that. So you need to be confident, go and back, and then of course only in the end you're gonna see, of course, but you are training. That was an interesting comparison.
yeah, yeah,
Great.
indeed.
Exactly. And what about the future? What we can expect it from IF, no, award design awards, for the future? New awards, more participants. I don't know what your vision. I know that you probably have some other things that you cannot talk. No, we cannot tell us. But what's the general vision for the future that you have in your mind?
Yeah. I mean, I personally had to learn, yeah, what we have in mind if we speak about support the design community. Yeah, because it's
Great.
really a wide field, yeah, and of course you have 150 different opportunities to do this. And we stopped a lot of activities over the last couple of years, and we started a few new ones. What I can say is that our main purpose will always be relevant for our participants. That is important for us, and this we have to demonstrate and we have to prove every year. So the last IF design is over, so now we have to say, okay, how can we be relevant for our participants? And that's the reason why we have to turn some wheels, like we have to work on sustainability. We also want to be a very modern award. That means that should be very comfortable for our participants to join the award. Yeah, maybe on the mobile phone and not a desktop anymore. So we have to work on that. We have to always deliver a high qualified jury, and that is also not
Hmm.
God given. Really to find a good setup.
Yeah.
And then, of course, we would like to continue with the student award, with the ZIP award. For the student award, we are in a phase of thinking how can we give them more support? Yeah, maybe for the winners, how can we find ways to let them realize their products? Yeah, so in a smart way. That is one thing where I can't lift the curtain what we have in mind, but we will do something more for students. What I can say,
Great. Great.
we've started this year the trend conference based on the trend report, which was started 3 years ago. That is really accepted from the design community. So I mean, I could see this year already that we got 24 or 23,000 downloads of the trend report, which is a high number for us.
By
Um,
the way, it's a nice report. I was look. I didn't look all the report because it's really big report, but really complete. Really
yeah,
complete.
yeah. I mean, and I mean, it's always there. We give it away for free for a few months, and then we ask for some money. It's not that we would like to get money with that. Yeah, it's really that we would like to give something to our audience, and if people like you say, okay, there was 2, 3 pages where I could give benefit, which I
Yeah.
can use for my work, it's compliment enough for us. And then there is a fourth or fifth topic for us, and I can say it in this podcast. It is quite new. I announced it at the winner gala in Berlin 10 days ago. Um, Quarter 2 next year, we will start the ifdesign academy. And that is
Mm.
also, I mean, for us, it's a big step. And of course, we have to work really hard on this. But
Yeah.
we think we can give some experience, some knowledge to the outside world in terms of design management. It's for postgraduate, so it's not for students. It's for people who are
Yeah.
designers, work in a small company, work in a big company, would like to learn about how can I lead my design team, how can I learn more about sustainability? Yeah, what does
Great.
artificial intelligence mean for us? And we are right now in the preparation phase. We think we need 9 months to really start on a high level. The
Uh huh.
trainings will be offline as well as online. I mean, we have our jury members. Some of them told me already, I'm willing to support you.
Great.
Um, that is an adventure for us, but
Great.
coming back to support the design community, we think that is something where we can be supportive to some designers, design apartments. Yeah, that is a bit our
Nice.
global um, field I
D-
see. So trend report, trend conference, and then at another piece of puzzle, the Design Academy for Design Education. We do not want
Great.
to compete with the consultancy, the big consultancy agencies. So we wouldn't run wouldn't run design thinking workshops. Yeah, we also don't want to participate with the universities. That's the reason why I said it's more in the field of postgraduate design management learning
No, no.
sessions.
Interesting.
Yeah,
Really interesting.
I
No.
announced it, so you are the second audience
Great.
who hear this.
Oh, come
Yeah,
on.
so it's
Great.
it's quite
Great.
new. It's quite new,
Great.
and
Great.
and yeah, I have some pieces of puzzle in my mind, and this is a missing piece. So and then the picture is full. I
Interesting.
mean, maybe as a side note, we started a kind of metaverse presence for our users also 10 days ago, which is also yeah part of being a really modern design award. Yeah, because we believe in that we have to show products in a
Yeah.
digital atmosphere or digital environment. Yeah, so I mean, of course, it's metaverse itself is a kind of hockey stick in a area where people might say, "Whoa, is this coming back?"
Ah, I,
But I believe in
yeah.
this. It's coming back. I
Yes.
believe totally in this.
Great.
Maybe in 2, 3 years, it's part of our life. But if you see how much money Apple and the big companies, some Samsung,
Yeah.
invest in virtual reality, augmented reality, then you can imagine how big the market
Yeah.
might be. And that's the
For
reason why
sure.
we started this year, knowing that maybe it's not attractive because metaverse is replaced by artificial intelligence right now. But I'm quite sure it's coming back, and that's the reason why we think it's a good platform for us, showing the winner products in the
In a
metaverse,
different, no, different way,
different
a
environment.
modern way, let's say. No,
Yeah,
yeah, no, no,
exactly.
fantastic, fantastic. No, I think it's perfect. And one more question, just by curiosity, before doing my final questions. How was I know I was not this year on the gala. I have some other things. Sorry, but I saw some no some news about that. And how was to as far as I remember, Dieter Hams was kind of receiving an award. And how was that? Because from I mean, as a industrial designer, no, I think it's one of the persons that
I
influenced
can't.
all of us probably. And how was that? No, because he's an old guy. He was at the ceremony, no, receiving his award. How can you share something about that?
Uh, there is a video on our website, so if you really would like to get the pictures behind, yeah, please take a look on the video. But I have to say, I had goosebumps, to be honest, yeah, because first it was a surprise for all the guests, so we didn't announce that.
Yeah, true.
Um, for the audience itself, we gave or we had 500 more guests as the previous year, so it was
Wow.
completely overbooked. So it was completely overbooked and everything. Everybody
Great.
was happy. Everybody was having party, and then we had this lifetime achievement award because that was a little bit the discussion between us and the foundation. Yeah, so of course we have to look into the future, sustainability, metaverse, all those things,
Sure.
but we have to also honor the old guys. Yeah, um, the women and men who really were driving the design community. Yeah, and
Sure.
there was a try, to be honest. Yeah, we said, okay, let's do this. Yeah, and then we asked Dieter Rams, and there was a small selection process, and we asked Dieter Rams, and the funny thing is, yeah, and I was moderator on the stage, and the first two, three lines, I could see them. They couldn't believe that this is a real Dieter Rams. They say, oh, it's a copy, or who said? And then they recognize, and people were crying, yeah, because in Asia,
Yes.
for example, yeah, the name Dieter Rams is God. Yeah, so
Sure.
and they were crying, and everybody was standing up, and it was really an
Wow.
emotional moment for me. Yeah, so
Fantastic.
because he's quite old, and he has done so many things for the design community, yeah, and that's the reason why it
Sure.
was a pleasure for us, yeah, to make this. Of course, the what to say, the level is quite high. We have to see, okay, who's the next candidate. But it was really an honor for us that Dieter Rahm said, okay, I'm willing to come. I'm willing to say a few words to the audience. So, and
Great.
that is not given. That is not normal, and we are happy. So it was really, I had goosebumps, and if I'm mentioning this, I get goosebumps again. So I mean,
Yes, no, I was looking. No, I saw the video. That why I
yeah,
was kind of jealous about that. Like, come on, man, I was not there to at least not talk to him, but at least see him like no some meters away. I say, come on, man, it's a pity. But I was really happy about this. No, this new
yeah,
category award, and I think you're fully right. We need to look to the future, but we cannot forget the past. No, the
yeah,
guys that start all this movement in they are all our idols, no, let's say. Great, great. No, fantastic. And as usual, I would like to make my two questions to my guest. Sorry, and then the first one, if you have no someone or some people or one person that influenced or still influenced you in your career or whoever you want to mention.
yeah. I mean, both questions are really good. My first reaction was there is no inspiration, yeah, for me over the last couple of years. So I had no person where I would say, let's follow this guy. But then I thought a bit about that. And I mean, for the last couple of months, I could see Amy Webb twice. Yeah, Amy Webb is a kind of futurist coming from the United States,
Yeah,
and open the door for us to the future. Say, okay, this is coming, that might be coming. This is the role of artificial intelligence for economy, but also for society, and that was really inspiring for me. I saw her last time at the South by Southwest in Austin, and that was inspiring. Of course, you do not have to believe everything, but she has a lot of team members behind that, so it's based on
hmm,
science. Yeah, it's based on forecasts. That was definitely somebody from a design perspective. It is Dieter Rams. Yeah, so I'm not a designer, but when I try to go into the how can I get better understanding for designers? Yeah, I read some books. I got a better understanding of his 10 guidelines for good design. So Dieter Rams, I would say,
Yes,
especially in this
yes.
field. Um, yeah, and I started our dialogue with saying, so I'm a big fan of British music, and one of my favorite artists is a guy called Frank Turner. Maybe you've heard about him. So Frank Turner, he does
Ah,
a little
yeah.
bit like punk rock music, yeah, and
Yes, yes, yes. From that
he's
time,
he's
the
a
punk
kind
rock.
of he's a kind of or gives me inspiration because he has done 3,000 shows in his career already. And if you
Wow.
divide 3,000 by the number of, I don't know, 25 or 30 of
Yeah,
his career, that's a lot of shows every year.
for sure, for sure.
So, and I would say I got inspirations from him as well. So, I mean, if I have to call three guys, Amy, Dieter, and Frank Turner.
Great, great. No, no, perfect, perfect. I mean, it's they are fantastic. And could you recommend the other one? Or could recommend any book, or does it? Well, usually I ask about book, but could be a website or a podcast that also you like it to you are hearing or looking in this moment or reading.
Yeah,
Do you have something?
yeah, I can see I'm following High Snobiety and Wired for a lot of years. So I got a lot of inspiration and future outlook and how is the lifestyle turning. Yeah. So I like
Yeah,
both websites, yeah, Wired as well as High Snobiety. And it's really hard because it's not that these are the only platforms I really read regularly.
uh
Yeah.
huh.
And when it comes to design, it's more the case that somebody recommend a page and then I go on the page and
Yeah,
get some understanding and then I come back a year later. So it's not that I have
great.
some highly frequented pages, but what I can say is that the German news magazine Spiegel, Der Spiegel, yeah, it's a
Der
German
Spiegel.
website.
Yeah, sure.
I can say that I take a look on this site every day really to get a better
Great.
understanding. And of course, I'm a big fan of Spotify. Yeah.
Spotify for sure. For sure.
Spotify,
This
yeah,
is
of
the
course, yeah, because it gives me recommendations based on my music taste, and that is also part of my life. So, yeah, if I have
no.
to
I think
call,
that's the
yeah,
good thing. No, I think it's Spotify that I think it's changed a little bit our, let's say, music taste, because you are listening. No, usually we look for our favorite artist. No, Rocky, right? And then there's the algorithm start to, if you like this kind of music, maybe try this guy. No, try this band. And it's nice because in the past it was impossible unless if you receive a recommendation. And now, not it's not full, no 100%, but it worked. And I
yeah,
like it. This new way of
yeah, yeah. I mean, from time to time, you really find new bands, yeah, and of course, there's one song in your playlist given by Spotify, and then you listen some more songs and say, "Wow, it's good." Yeah, I
exactly.
never heard about the brand. Yeah, so it's first time that I listen to them, and very often it works quite nice. So I like the algorithm, yeah. So from time to time I buy vinyls, yeah, of course, but I'm actually I'm supporter of what these platforms do. I don't want to judge the financial concept behind and how much money goes to the artist. I think
Of
there's a lot
course,
of room for improvement, but from a pure listener perspective, it's cool.
it's nice. It's cool. It's cool. No, no, I'm agree. And also, one thing that I also discovered in using Spotify was the podcast. No, because you have lots of podcasts,
Yeah.
generic ones or more specific one related to design or even other fields, and was something that they helped also a lot. You have
Mm.
YouTube for sure, since some years, but in the case of the Spotify, it's much easier because you can only listen, so you don't need to look the images. So it's quite an interesting platform to learn a lot. No, that's fantastic.
I
No,
know
the
that's true.
future,
That's true. Also, to
great.
find new podcasts is easy with Spotify. I mean, you also get some recommendations, yeah, and then
Yeah,
there's no barriers. You can jump in,
no.
listen to episodes, and if you say, "Whoa, I like it," you can listen to more episodes. So
And you don't if you don't like, as I always told to people that are listening our podcast, some of the guests they like more than other ones because depends of the field, it depends of the chat we are having. But in the end, they are always looking and say, no, this one I like, the other one, well, maybe it's not for me. But no problem. It's impossible to to achieve all people, but that's the good thing. We can share lots of professionals and try to tell their history as your history or today.
Yeah. So
Uwe,
whenever your listeners have questions, they can contact me directly. I mean, you have my
for
email
sure.
address, so I don't want to share my email address here, but if
No,
they
no,
have
no, don't
questions
need.
or feedback or whatever, yeah, wishes, and let them know they can
And
contact.
they can find you. No, they can find you on LinkedIn. No, in this platform.
Yeah,
Though, so
exactly,
if they
exactly.
have anything to tell you, or and do you have anything to tell us? Anything that I forgot to ask you, that you like to tell us, to invite people, no, for the awards, etc. Whatever you want to say, the microphone is open. Let's as
Yeah, every company, every designer is welcome, but they have to decide it on themselves. Yeah, so if there are questions, as said, they can contact us. For sure. No, I wish that designers get more power all over the planet. That's what I see also in combination with sustainability. So I see that when I go to the big companies, yeah, very often they report directly to the CEO. Also in small companies, designers get more power at
Mhm.
the end. That makes me happy. And
Yeah,
yeah, if we can go this path, it's good.
it's good. No, perfect. Thank you very much. Thank you very much for sharing your experience, your career, and also to explain details about this award that people could look from outside. Because it's really simple when then you see the whole how complex it is, no, to to manage, no, all these things. But congrats to your job, no, to IF team also. And
Yeah,
if you want to participate, it's quite easy. Just look on internet and you can find all the information about the awards.
very good.
Great, great.
Leonardo, thanks to you. Thanks to you for the nice talk. It was
No,
was
no,
really
thank to
fast. I
you.
mean,